you something. I told you before that the United States government created AIDS to kill off non-white people because I work with them and I'm a biochemist, so I know what they're doing. Now, my question to you, if it was not true, why would they be following me around, going to the publishers, going to the newspaper, and when I leave press release or when I have my book printed, they go and bribe people within the black press, within the publishing company, to change things around. Now let me just say this very fast. I had a press release. It says on Sunday, February the 10th, 1991 at 4 p.m., Dr. Jack Feller, the biochemist, teacher, and historian, will be speaking at 111 West 132nd Street, Emmanuel CME Church, on Do African People Have a History and Culture, and AIDS and Drugs in the Black World as a form of biological and chemical warfare. Also, I had a second announcement that I will be speaking at New York University Loeb Student Center at 6 p.m. on February 11th. I took this to the City Sun. I took it there last week. I gave it to them. What happened? When the news came out, what did it say? First of all, it's this week issue of the City Sun, okay? You can look at it. It's on page 32. At the bottom, it says, Sunday, February 10th, Blacks and AIDS, Dr. Jack Feller, biochemist, teaching historian lectures today on Do African People Have a History and Culture, and on AIDS and Drugs in the Black World as a form of biological and chemical warfare, 4 p.m. But now get this, it says not what I gave them, it says Emmanuel AME Church, okay? It says 32 West 119th Street, which is completely wrong, on February 11th, okay? Second, the telephone number they gave was 212-677-9602. And the actual number I gave them was 677-6902. They turned the numbers around. Now, I know from experience, these people will go to the newspaper, and how they're able to bribe the people or the printer, I don't know. But they must give them money or what. But this whole thing was changed around. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the address they put there, and I'm going to put a big flyer up there so the people who go to the wrong address, they will go to the right address. So I'm going to defeat them. And the last thing I want to say is that I will be on the 10th of February at 111 West 132nd Street. That's the actual address. And on the 11th, I will be at New York University at 6 p.m. and the actual number is 677-6902 and the area code is 212. And also, I told you I wrote this book, AIDS, United States Germ Warfare Dispense with Document Proof. My wife is at the back, she has a few copies, and if you want the book, you can buy it for us, $15. But my last thing, if I were not accurate and true, why are they following me around? Why are they interfering? They are constantly interfering. So the proof is in the pudding. The fact that they're interfering means that I am on target.
That's right.
So don't listen to what any white person tell you about AIDS. You listen to Dr. Feller, you listen to what Dr. Barbara Justice is saying, you listen to what Gary Bridge is saying, because they have tried to destroy Dr. Justice the same way. They're trying to take our license. You understand? Because she went to Kenya and got Kimron, they're trying to destroy her and Kimron. Listen to the black news media and listen to your own black scientists and doctors. And I thank Roy very much for letting me bring this to your attention. Okay, thank you very much.
Constantly got to be fighting.
Yes.
Constantly has to be fighting. Our first is the trip to Israel with our mayor and Charlie Rangel. Charlie Rangel, by the way, lives in the same building with Dr. Ben, so you're going to hear about that. You saw him today. Also, I'd like for Dr. Ben slightly to make a comparison between Zionism and racism. And also, third, the New World Order. So what I'm going to ask you all to do, and oh, by the way, don't forget, December, the first Monday, December, the United African Movement is going to have people from all over the world come to one of our major churches, hopefully Canaan Baptist Church, to honor this man. We think he deserves it. I'm going to be asking a lot of you UN people to get involved in this, because we're going to make it a hell of a project. Okay? So what I'd like for y'all to do now is get on your feet and give an applause.
Purposes. But first, I am back here with a delegation from Egypt promoting for the first time an all-African festival in the southern part, of that land. The southern part, called Aswan previously, in a city in the old kingdom of Nubia. That festival would run the entire month of August, from the first to the last day. On the 12th of this month, there will be a press conference, hopefully of all the press of the entire world stationed in the New York area. We had and still have with us members of Queen Tours of Cairo, one of the chairmen of the Tourist Authority of Egypt, the 5 tourist directors for the authority of Egypt. They're here, stationed in different parts of the United States. They will be present. The Deputy Minister of Tourism and the Deputy Minister of Culture were here but had to be rushed back for some special consultation. And myself, along with one of your own mates, Alken Tours in Brooklyn, New York. There on the night of the 12th, we will be involved at his sister's art gallery, Betty Dobson's art gallery in the 70s. There will be this press conference. Of course, when we leave here, we go back, we go to Europe and Asia for announcement of the press conference also. This is not a carnival, and it will not be a carnival atmosphere, although we will have entertainment, high stage entertainment. We'll have dance troupe from various parts of the continent, the motherland, from the Caribbean, we will have music from the United States of America, from England, and from the South Pacific. I am speaking about African people, of course.
Yes, of course.
I have to add that in so that you make sure that what I'm speaking about.
Right.
Of course, we can't decide who's going to buy the tickets, since the ticket will be distributed to travel agents throughout the United States and elsewhere. Time doesn't permit me to speak on this, but I needed to bring your attention. You will hear it all over the radio stations, and I'm sure TV stations, from after the press conference all the way to the festival itself in 1991, the entire month of August. Since that time that I left you and went back home, I returned here for a second purpose, and that's to speak during this month, the month that you still can't get away from, the month of February. You picked the shortest month at that, to tell your history. First, it was a week, and I could understand that Carter G. Woodson had a big fight to even convince you that it was necessary to say something about you anyhow. That was from about 1936 We are now in 1991, and we still just gained 3 more weeks. And this month, every college, every little nook and every little cranny, as they say, will have somebody speaking about Africa, some who know and some who do not know. But Africa will be the point of concentration. Fortunately, I'm one of those who are called to speak during this period of time, and I've already been in Atlanta, Georgia, and yesterday and up to this morning in Nashville, Tennessee, about speaking of our culture. I must say that there have been some changes among the young people. I can't say among the elders. Even those in the 60s, I can't speak laudingly about them. Instead of coming forward, they are retrogressing like your mayor. But nevertheless, some people said they're living under faith and they're living in hope. I've never believed in faith, whether she's up the block or down the block, much less when she's in the Bible. Faith, nobody with any mind of his own believe in faith. What the hell can faith do? Keep the hope. Damn the hope. Keep what hope? Hope of what? I mean, you're going to leave what you must do to yourself for faith and hope. None of those 2 birds have ever done anything. You had faith. A few days ago, 2 days ago, you were in a church with faith and hope. You were in a mosque on Saturday with faith and hope. You were in a mosque, a synagogue. I'm sorry, Saturday was a synagogue, and Friday you were in a mosque with faith and hope. Today is Wednesday, and you still got faith and hope and nothing else. So it's about time that from 1516, you have had faith and hope coming over on the slave boat. In 1620 or 1619, you took that faith and hope and came from Barbados in the Caribbean to Virginia with faith and hope. You saw that it didn't work until the so-called Emancipation Proclamation, and you still had faith and hope. And it didn't work then. The First World War came, you stood with faith and hope again, and found that it didn't work, even though you were singing Amazing Grace. All right. Another cracker slave master song, which you don't give up because you said it sounds good. Would you sing a song about Benito Mussolini's song about Africa because it sounds good? Do you know any other people use their slave master's song because it sounds good? And because of faith and hope? And because of non-violence? Let me make this clear. You invite me. There's no way a man gonna put his foot in my mama, in my daughter, in my woman, in me, and I go and pray for God to make him understand. If you see me praying after he attempted, not did it, after he attempted to do it, you know damn well I am asking God to give me strength to be able to hire some junkies, not only to kill him, but to kill his family. I thought that you had gotten over the Martin Luther King know what he was talking about when he's alive, and he don't know what it is now when he's dead. I mean, let us stop. My daddy said, if you ain't gonna shit, get off the pot. And you're driving. You're driving. That's why you never see me picketing with you. I am not picketing anything. Another time you're getting ready to picket because a decision was made in favor of the Koreans since I left. And you're mad. You're gonna appeal. You don't need to. You got one weapon which you haven't used. Don't go in the store. You don't need to picket anything. Just don't patronize the store. Now, I gotta deal with it for us to understand. Now you're upset. There's a new thing going since I saw you. And this new thing is called war in the Middle East. I mean, how did that become new? There have always been a war. I've been going to the war in the subway. I went to the war on the corners in Harlem. That's where I live when I'm in the States. I'm still living in Harlem. I'm scared of white people, so I can't leave Harlem and go live in, That's why I say I don't want no white people taping me.
That's right.
You don't see me go on any white man talk show.
That's right.
You don't see me. You don't see me go on any white man radio. You don't see me. You may say a lot of other people.
Yeah.
I ain't going on no white man talk show. I am not an entertainer for white folks. And I'm not joining any movement with white folks. No, I want to make this clear to the wind. No, the war is supposed to be in the Middle East. I don't have an idea of where, east of what, and middle of where. There's a war going on in Asia, and soon it may come into Africa. Now that's what I know, there's a war. Now about Middle East and all, go to East and Middle East and Near East and Far East and Up East or Down East, I don't understand where that is. My geography tells me it's in a place called Iraq. That's where the war basically is being fought. I am further told that they're doing surgical bombing. So there is a physician using an airplane to perform surgical operation. And as a fellow in the White House, appropriate name, by name of George something M. Bush. And this maniac, who had to get Billy Graham to consult the Lord Jesus. Now that make a lot of you mad because JC, I'm talking about the faggot JC. A man who have never, how can he tell the world about peace when he doesn't even know about women? A man 33-year-old gonna decide for the world what he must do, and he doesn't even know what a woman to do with. But let's go ahead. He consulted Billy Graham. And Billy Graham is going to be the one that equally consult with Bush, with JC. And JC come to these two crackers to tell them how they must act. And with the consultation, they call a man from the Bronx colon is a part of the anus. The colon. And so he must have gotten diarrhea from the name Saddam Hussein. So he brought up the colon where the diarrhea must take place. And so now they're asking me, a man that live in my building, when I'm in the States, by the name of Rangel. I know him as Rangel, you know him as Rangel. I know him as the son of a Puerto Rican and a Virginian woman.
Tell the story.
And I know that he needs a certain amount of votes downtown and a certain amount of money downtown. And he knows that I know, because we live in the same building. Now, I'm not trying to say that we are in the same economic status. Not at all. I'm with the poor people.
Yes.
But I'm not with a poor mind. He's with the rich people, white folks, but he has a poor mind. I saw the brother the other day. As a matter of fact, the day before he was supposed to go on the plane, which I know that I fly a plane often, but I was hoping that Saddam Hussein had a special Mitchell. That's why I said hope and faith is no good. Because if hope and faith was good, he wouldn't have been alive. Because my hope was up, high up. No, don't get me wrong now. I didn't say it because I know a lot of you know. You're waiting for me to say I'm backing Saddam Hussein.
Tell the story, sir.
You don't going to hear me say that. Neither are you going to hear me say I'm backing Bush. You see, I'm still black.
That's right.
I'm still the child of two African people. And I know my history. I am not going to make the choice between one slave master's descendant and the other slave master's descendant. But I would make an analysis. So those of you who have made the choice already, even if you got a brother over there, nobody send and tell your brother to come. Your brother volunteered to go. So if you got a son over there, don't give a damn and wait. Your son is an ass to be there. When you have heard about the 30% of African Americans in the army, have you heard how many Africans are in the army over there on the other side? What is happening in this war is that the African woman is going to suffer, whether she be in the Saddam Hussein side or she be on the Bush side. African people are going to die fighting for two monsters, neither of which have our interests at heart. Some of us have taken side because we're Muslim, so we back in Saddam Hussein. Some of us have taken side because we're Christian, so we back in Bush. Some of us have taken side because we're Americans, so we back in Bush. Some of us have taken side because we wish to be Iraqi. But none of us are taking the side of understanding why two African people are facing each other with weapons of destruction to destroy each other, and the issue has nothing to do with the interests of African people. If Saddam Hussein wins, we lose. If Saddam Hussein lose, we lose. If George Bush win or lose, we lose. Because African mothers' sons will come back or stay there and be buried for a cause, none of which our damn business. It is not the oil of Nigeria we're fighting over. We're not fighting over the oil of Libya, still owned by Arab. We are there fighting for the descendants of one set of slave masters from the west and another set of slave masters from the east. But let us look at the question. What and who? What is Kuwait? And who is a Kuwaiti? That area was once the Ottoman Empire. After the Ottoman Empire was defeated by the coalition of European forces, as they are coalescing now. And the European forces eventually, when they could not longer subjugate the people, decided to create a new state, new vassal state, like Jordan. 25 years ago, like Kuwait. 40 odd years ago, like Israel with the Balfour Agreement made in London, England. You got to understand what you're talking about. No different than Panama was created by the United States by cutting up Colombia. And you know what happened in Panama? One state tell the head of state of another independent country, you violated my law. The president of a sovereign nation violates the law of the president of another sovereign nation with quotation marks, because the so-called Indians want to know how it became a country, but it became a country because it no longer have the power. Might is right. That's another thing we have to, you talking nonsense all the time, but it's not right, it's not democratically right, it's not moral right. Damn all of those terms. Right. The only right is behind gunpowder. That's the only right. When you get gunpowder, no marching down at City Hall, no marching down at the South African office, no marching down anywhere is going to give you right. Guns are the only thing going to give you right. You can go to Benson House a thousand times, pray in, sit in, ass up in, and you're not going to get any right. You've got to be ready for Freddy to kill asses just like they kill you. You think that Ben Jochannan as a professor teaching Egyptology in a classroom going to change the conditions in Africa? No. You think that Ben Jochannan writing 1,000 books and telling you about yourself going to change conditions in Africa without the sword?
No.
The book is just to get you prepared to understand the sword.
Yes.
I am not writing, I was not writing from 1939 to now to make you enjoy sitting in a comfortable place, enjoy literature. That is not the reason for my writing. The reason for my writing is to get you hot as mad as ass to whip ass. And that's why you don't move. You have been prepared to read book, to read poetry, including the lost poets who tell you, we're going underground at 4th Street on 6th Avenue. We're coming up 6 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to blow up the Statue of Liberty with a white woman from Canada. And the white woman of Canada is going to be the wife of the Prime Minister of Canada, eventually. Yeah? Then we will sing songs of revolution. And we sing better songs of revolution. We're going to sing it in calypso mode. We're going to sing it in reggae mode. We're going to sing it in the boogaloo mode. We're going to sing it in the bambala mode. And then we're going to sing it with a libation. And then we're going to get the other libation. And we come back the next day and we sing a new set of songs. But the same case. But now we're ready. And we picketed the guy from South Africa. And we picketed, there's some of them are picketing George Bush right now. We picketed the United Nations one day, and then we go to the United Nations, the same United Nations, the next day they say, this is our case. How the hell you going to the same people? The same crackers that you picket for mistreating you, you're going to ask for help. The same cracker that mistreat you and give you no justice, you go to the court and ask for justice.
Yes. Think about that.
It's something you gotta face.
Teach, sir, teach.
And your condition will never change until you are ready to bear arms.
That's right.
And you know what? You know what? I'm not going to bear no arms with you. Because I can't trust you.
That's right.
Because you have made no motion to indicate to me
No effort.
that you're ready.
That's true.
People come in your community, kick your ass in your community. A sick man goes in there and you voted for him and now he's a mayor. Sick mentally, that is.
Sure.
At least the Congress is supposed to be involved with making law for international behavior of your country. The president and his cabinet supposed to do the negotiation for political matters. When did you hear that a mayor is involved with making international decisions for a country? When do you hear that the mayor of New York is equally the mayor of Tel Aviv? It wasn't even that when Koch was there. Here is a man on his knees, and you're surprised. David Dinkins was on his knees when he was borough clerk. I was a clerk of records. He was on his knees when he went to the election department clerking. He was on his knees as a borough president. What the hell did you figure that he's not going to be on his knees as a mayor? David Dinkins has been on the knees from the time his father passed some sperm in his mother. I could have given David Dinkins a free passage. He would not have to take airline. I would have given him a free bus passage to Hill House.
That's right.
I would have given him a free passage from the west side, where he's supposed to live, to the middle of Harlem in Drug Alley.
Yes.
Since he wants somebody to sympathize with. The same like Jesse Jackson needed somebody to sympathize with. I would have shown him something to sympathize him. I would have given him a mirror. I knew he wasn't going to look because he was damn scared of what he would see in the mirror. He would see his African self. David Dinkins, when he went to Israel, should have gone to the Better Israel community. The people they called the niggas of Israel. he should have gone to what they call the black Jews or the Falashas. And then see the tents and the squalor which they live. And look at the Russian Jews who arrived there at the same time and see how they live. Did they go and wrangle, check up on the black Jews?
No.
Oh no.
No.
They didn't go to the black community. They could have gone to Dimona and Shamoa and see the black Jews from Chicago and see how they live. Did he go there?
No.
No, he didn't go there. Didn't plan to go there. His brother before him, Beard Ruskin, and Jenkins is no different, and Charlie Randall is no different. The girls are all together. And you surprised. You surprised that that is his behavior, though he did not get the votes that he's looking for.
That's right.
He's a cheap prostitute of a politician. And Randall, he is the prostitute of the politics, and Randall is the man that runs the prostitute. What do they call him? The pimp, there are other names. So there you have a prostitute and his pimp. Sometimes I wonder which one is which. And you're surprised. How can you be surprised when those men behave the way they do? My surprise would be if they act intelligently, if they speak up for black people, then I would be surprised. You are surprised that Bush is speaking about a new world order. How could you be surprised? Is the new world order going to be any different than the present world order?
No.
Is it going to be any different than the order that came about in 1830 when France invaded Sweden and started the colonization of Africa? Is it going to be any better that when the European nations had done gobble up all of the continent of Africa and then called for a new world order? That time they called the order the Berlin Conference. When the United States, Great Britain, and 12 colonial powers of Europe met to discuss the orderly dissection of the continent of Africa. When they gave to Leopold the richest part of that continent called Manicongo, which they changed to Congo. And by 1886, when all these bloody bastards met there in Berlin and gave to Leopold the biggest half. By 1896, the bastards had already started fighting against each other because at the same time France and Germany was fighting for Alsace-Lorraine. When Germany finished whipping France's ass, Germany said, "Where is my part of the loot?" And they said, "We took it all already, you got none." Germany didn't start to whip all of them ass. And Germany started to take the destruction of Africa. Then Leopold now calls a new conference. This one is called the Brussels Conference. And there at the Brussels Conference, they then decided that a new set of law was necessary. The one set that Brother called the Berlin Act was no longer good, and so they revised it to the Brussels Act, where Germany got a little piece of the cake. The United States was represented in both conferences in colonialism. That's a lie about the United States not being in colonialism. The United States was represented by a man by the name of Edward H. Terrell. In the first conference and the second conference, he was represented by Harry Carson. Both of them carried the title of Minister Plenipotentiary and Ambassador Extraordinary. They reported to the President, the Congress of the United States, Ulysses S. Grant, and it was approved. They made Liberia their personal colony. Right. And further reinforced it with a contract with Harvey Firestone, a contract that runs 99 years, 99 months, 99 weeks, 99 hours, 99 minutes, and 99 seconds. That's what the contract reads. One of the things that bothered Garvey so much, King was then the president of Liberia. You read some books and you read some history, but you don't remember nothing. So you constantly getting annoyed. Everything bothers you because you read for pleasure. You hear a man lecture and you say, I enjoy that speech. How the hell? I am not here for your enjoyment.
That's right.
You want to enjoy something, go to church, go to the synagogue, go to the mosque, you enjoy it.
Yes.
Drink some wine, you enjoy it. I ain't gonna time to keep talking to you. You go to Haiti, you enjoy seeing the people. I had a fine time looking at poverty. You go to France to look at your master, how your master glowed in your ancestors' blood. And you say, I had a beautiful time at the Needle. You go to England and see the sick bitch called Queen. And you come back and go, I like the Big Ben and it was so nice. How the hell England gonna be nice and France gonna be nice and after you left it's still standing there? It would be nice if you tell me when I was there the whole shit caved in. Including the Church of England, including King James Bible. There ain't no such thing as nice war. This is war. Bush is right. Black folks got a war.
Right there.
And you were told about it. There was a paper written and published in Atlanta. And my brother Wright wrote to you in the 1800s. Walker told you real clear. Henry Highland Garnet stood in Boston and told Lincoln quite clear. And Douglas made it clear to you, although he turns chicken later. He said, what is it that a Negro got to celebrate on the 4th of July? He said that in Syracuse in New York. He asked the question to his fellow, poor fellow, at the time he couldn't say anything better than a Negro. But he asked, he refused to give the speech on the 4th of July and asked, what has a Negro to celebrate on the 4th of July?
Right.
You did not look at history because right now I've gone to your Black Studies department and you still have the picture of Denmark Vesey side. Another man who got shot in the rectum defending his white slave masters in Boston. You still got him with the heroes. You still got the Buffalo Soldiers up on your wall as heroes who helped to kill the people that let you run and hide among them. Oh, how we can get mix up. A man is not a hero because he got black skin. He's a hero because he does things in the benefit of black people. How could you have expected Jenkins to do anything else when his first appointee was a white Jew to be deputy mayor? You know, when the mayor is incapacitated or absent, the first deputy mayor takes over. He didn't appoint a black man. But you didn't understand. The Puerto Rican American and the African Americans are the ones that put him there without the vote of anybody else. But the slave, Malcolm said it. Malcolm said, the slave. And another man identified the slave. He said, what? If there is no back door in a house for the slave to enter, the slave would make one anyhow, so they could go in. Malcolm said, when the slave said to the boss, identifying himself and the boss, are we separate, boss? You can take that slave, take a loaded Uzi from Israel. Put that Uzi in the slave's hand. Go to sleep in the slave's lap. And the slave will stop a mosquito from coming near. So it don't wake you up. Because that's a slave. A slave is not just a man who is physically bound. It is his mind. And that's what you got to understand. Brothers constantly fight me and say, I am controversial. Lord, if you are there and you hear me, Lord God, you're a beautiful woman. Please, the day that I act like that, snuff me. You know, I'm probably wasting time again tonight talking to you. Because tomorrow, your behavior. Tomorrow you will be out there at Benson House. Begging crackers to open the door. Please let me in. How come you come here to the slave theater and you want to be alone? You want to be with your people. I love that. But tomorrow you're going to Benson House. Master, let me in. It's cold outside. I want to be the spook that sat at the door. No, don't let that, like I said, don't let that doctorate before the name and this three-piece suit. I ain't got on the tie. I got on the whole rig of the monkey suit that I wear. Look, I look like a professional jackass when I dress up, but I gotta put on that thing, that monkey get up sometime to deal with you, much less him. No, I don't like that. Doctorate, it's all right to all call me that. It's okay, you feel better with it. My name is Yosef. You see me? But that, from the bachelors all the way up, didn't frighten me then, and does not frighten me now. I still know that I am an African, not by chance. I don't happen to be an African.
Come on.
My mama, my daddy saw a black woman
Yes.
walking in the street. Make sure she was a black woman.
Come on, tell it. Yes.
His eyeball just let the beauty come through and register in the brain here. And he says, I'm gonna get a piece of that. And my daddy went after my mother with a vengeance. And my mama run away from him going backwards. And my daddy said, I got you. And she says, I like it. Next thing you know, I was picking up right there. Didn't wait. My mama looked down in this beautiful black eyes and said, God, another God. It was no accident. From then they know they had to mold a God. And they know that a God cannot be satisfied in another God's domain. Even the bears in the summer, the bears go around and they piss on different trees. That's his territory. Any woman in that pissing territory is his. Any man violate that territory, that space, got to see him or die. You're not even a bear. You call yourself man. Brother said, man, you harder than brothers. You damn right. It's you are supposed to be harder. Even the picketing is the sister I see there. I don't see you. I don't see you in elementary school. I don't see you in high school. I don't see you at the graduation. I don't see you any place, but I see you talking shit all day long. And you ask me not to be mean. Brothers and sisters all over the world, Papua New Guinea and the rest of the South Pacific and the Caribbean, all over, brothers and sisters got calamity. And what you contribute. Brothers and sisters blown away by hurricane in North Carolina, the Virgin Islands and St. Antigua and all them places, how much did you contribute? You couldn't contribute because you couldn't go there to pick it. You couldn't walk there to pick it and you weren't going to pay the pain to go down there to pick it. So they didn't see you. But you continue drinking Sneaky Pete and Peter Smith. Everything that is ganja. And tell me, clear up the mind. How the hell your mind probably you going to clear it up simultaneously? Walk around like a zombie. Don't give me that drive. Give it to somebody else. Even at my age, I know. I haven't started to fossilize yet. This tree scoring thing isn't working for me. That tree scoring 10 business. I don't think there's no doking going on here. I know somebody driving. Because of the results. The results speak for itself. And I'm going to hear it the wrong way. But if this was any other community, and those two buzzards went on to pay reverence to another community, they would have not walked straight. They would not have been able to raise their hand and scratch their head. If this was a PLO community and they had done that, would they walk again? No. Would the wife be able to hug them again? I know you are drive-ass bunch of turkeys. Because they're walking.
That's right.
They're talking. They're taking pictures about it.
Yeah.
You think Harriet Tubman would I tell them welcome home?
No way.
Huh? So Junior Truth will I sing a song for them home? Not turn on them back busy. Would I pray for them? They're ministers.
Yeah.
But not and Denmark knew that Jesus took up a log, whipped asses in the synagogue. They knew that they had to equally whip asses. And they know that they were going to be, if there were anybody going to turn them in, it was a traitor minister going to turn them in. They knew. And they knew it very clearly. But they dealt with reality. A sister asked me, who know me very well and I know her, and she wanted my sympathy, which I should have been able to give her because she has not only a son overseas, but she has a daughter and a son-in-law in Arabia. And I told her I wish they could get killed in the morning. And she's my friend. She was shocked. She said, Dr. Ben, what you were saying to me? And I said, I think I would relinquish the floor since they're taping now, and I don't let European states.
That's what I said.
My request has been met. They are not going to take me. There is only one person, and that's Minister Brown, that I've authorized to tape me. And I want to make that, make it clear. If you notice that anytime you see me on TV or radio, it's with a black show. Even though that black show may be owned by a white television station, I don't permit to be interviewed by Europeans. And you can call me racist or anything you want. With me, my struggle is a war. And it's a war that will continue, not when my people free only in New York or in Canada or in Jamaica, Puerto Rico, in Libya, in Egypt, Ghana, Vanuatu. When all my people are free, then and only then, I refuse to be entertainment for the European world. It is only correct that you allow others, and I'm a guest here, that I will conclude just with a few more remarks, my statements to you. As I go back to the continent, you ask why I went back to Egypt or went to Egypt to live. It could have been any other place in Africa. That is mine. Every square inch, there is no argument. I will not argue with a youth, a Chippendale, any brother from this land about his right to this land. I do not want a sixth state. I'm not one of those. I have a landmass, which is your landmass. And that landmass I am willing to die for. I am not going to Iraq, and any of my children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren who go there to fight will not find my home hospitable to them. They are not allowed in my house. If they are fighting on the other side for Iraq, they equally are not allowed in my house. Any slave master, my seed cannot, with my acceptance, fight for one slave master or the other. George Bush represents the Western slave master. Saddam Hussein represents the Eastern slave masters. So really, in reality, as I said before, my children, and I hope yours, and their progenies have nothing in this conflagration to fight for. The only thing is going to be the weeping African mothers, whether they be in Iraq or the United States. Regardless of what happened in this, it is the African who will weep. We have never had anything to fight for in the West nor the East. We have no cause in either place to fight for. Our war is with Washington, D.C. Our war is invasion of Bedford-Stuyvesant, the invasion of Harlem, the South Bronx. That's our war. Not because the land is always belong to the Indians, but because we have our homes, even if it's an apartment or a cardboard box. We live there. And we must fight for where we live. Saddam Hussein didn't come there yet. I don't have any oil. Not even a bucket. My car got 3 gallons left, I guess. You understand?
Yes.
They are not fighting for oil in California, in Texas, in Michigan. And I'm going to close down now. But understand carefully. Because all who sit next to you, smile with you, say, "Hi," don't mean necessarily their friend. And it is the enemy within, the enemy closest to you, sometimes the one with whom you sleep in bed. I know a man who once slept in bed with a woman and was intimate with her in the morning. And in the morning she pulled from underneath her pillow and said, "Here." It was a summons to the court. You can't get closer than that. And yet, with all that, he was betrayed. So betrayal should be nothing new to you.
That's right.
Unless you did not read history correctly. I say to you, as I leave, to go around the country. Saddam is here.
Yes, it is.
This morning, when I took the plane from Nashville, Tennessee, after speaking to TSU, 11 people on the plane at 7:27. Pan American have to cut half of the planes coming from Europe. 747 coming with 60 passengers aboard. Europeans scared stiff to fly. Bad America. The big bully of them all went down and beat up Panama, bigger Central Park. Take Bagman Oriega because he didn't share with Bagman Bush. Pull him off the throne and say, "Your laws are now under my law." International integrity that Bush is talking about. I mean, how these hypocrites could talk. You understand?
Yes.
And you, the other day, just this morning, I heard a sister say, "Our country." Like the professor, when he used to work at Cornell, our school, I had no goddamn school at Cornell. It was the school where I taught. I got paid every 2 weeks. Got nothing to do with our. You understand? The apartment building I live in is not our building. It is the building. And when you learn not to associate yourself with the ownership of the boss, when Malcolm's statement is of like a peg on your tongue, you understand the slave doesn't associate with the master as the same equal. When I got equal power, and it doesn't have to be a machine gun for a machine gun. You don't have an atomic bomb and tell me I can't use a gas bomb. Don't tell me about international law. There is no such thing. The crackers, after the Berlin and Brussels conference, a sick man from Princeton University named Woodrow Wilson decided that the Europeans had to have another body of law besides the treaty of gangsters they had made at Berlin and called the League of Nations. But the League of Nations didn't work for Ethiopia. And so to that, they found that they had to have another super league. They call it United Nations. And that didn't work. And they find they have to have a super nation. And they're now calling it the New World Order. For those of you who said the answer was communism and was gloating and happy, Chubby came down and said, them yellow boys in Asia suck every damn thing I had. I gotta let them go, some of them, but I can't let these go because I'll be broke. And Bushy said, the faggot girls got together in Washington. Bushy fag and Gooby fag shot back. Said, we coming with a new world order. They gonna make no difference between capitalism and communism. We are all white. And we gotta stay together. We gotta stay together like the people in Bensonhurst. We got to fight to protect white integrity. Oh, I know you like to pray, because that's all you've been doing. Leaving it to the Lord in prayer on the doorstep. To come back next Sunday and fight at the same place. Because the Lord is trying to fight his own battle upstairs or downstairs with Mrs. Lord. You see, he didn't get nothing when he was on earth for 33 years. He's trying to get it now. And you keep bothering the man, we'll let the man get peace. But God gonna punish you for laying and sitting on your behind and praying and on your knees, waiting for something to fall off the ceiling to liberate you. I don't know, you must be sick. You got to be sick. Mentally sick, that is. When you believe that prayer alone. Go do the thing. When you're successful, then tell the Lord, thank you, Lord. Because even if it ain't the Lord, it's done. Somebody did it. I said to you, bye-bye, brothers and sisters. And lastly, sisters, brothers, I'm going to say it again. I can never stop without saying this. When you act like a man, when you establish the standards that your woman could look up to you as a man, then you will free yourself. The first aspect of your freedom lies in your woman, your children. The first thing to worship is that woman that takes care of you daily. When you establish that independence, so that the black woman could look up to you when you run and play one baseball and kick one football, throw one basketball, and take the paycheck home in Harlem, Bedford Stuyvesant, South Bronx. To that black sister, your first step in liberation have been taken.